Hello, my name is Raymond Rüegg. I'm CEO and Chairman of Rüeggs Asset Management in Switzerland. It's an independent asset management company. We are not the bank, so we're asset management and managing the money independently without pressure from corporate finance to place any product. As you have seen, I was rated #1 equity fund manager for global and pan-European equity funds according to Citywire in 2008, the same ranking I had in Germany from Lipper, and also for a conservative product with #1 rating in Germany. So that was my short introduction. To add, I also have a long-term track record of plus 12% per annum, which is more than about 1% for the World Equity Index since 1996. Right. The question is actually, what shall we do with this crisis at the moment? I think people are afraid of losing their jobs. Many people are. They don't know what they should do. So I would like to give certain insights about what's necessary to change and what are the solutions about this crisis. Right, point one, I would say, is health, and probably you're astonished that I say that, because I strongly believe in the saying that a good shape or a good health is good for one's brain, and I think that's really a true. So what we have in the world is, for instance, an obesity problem. Number one country in the world is the US, and number 4 even is Switzerland, excuse me to say that. But this is a huge problem, and people have to move more. They should use less cars. We have about 1 billion cars in the world, 7 billion inhabitants. So people should move more by using their own feet and go to work by bicycle or something like that. I think it's good for its brain, it's good for the environment. Use less oil, petroleum, which is also a resource which won't last for too long. So I think it's just a very simple solution for one's health. And I think it's good sometimes to have a crisis so people come down to earth, and probably they will use less cars, more bicycles and so forth, and it's very good for the environment actually. Second point, when you do exercise, it's good for your brain, and I strongly advise you to contact a good trainer and get some advice also how to train, because not every training is healthy. Secondly, concerning the financial crisis, I point to the fact that Basel II regulations for banks has still a very huge mistake, and the mistake is that the risk calculation is absolutely wrong. So a large bank told me they would use only 5-year volatility, and that's for them that would be risk. They wouldn't calculate, they wouldn't assume that there could be a crisis like 1929, 32 or 73, 74. They didn't calculate that, and every huge bank didn't calculate that. So that must be changed immediately, and regulators have to change that. And we, or the world, has to accept that we are in the worst crisis since the 1930s. That's a fact. So I come to point 3, which is about good and bad products. Good products are, I think, hybrid cars like Toyota produces it. They also have a good balance sheet. and it's good for the world. In about 20-30 years we will have about 2 billion cars, and by building hybrid cars it's possible to even reduce oil consumption, so that is positive for the consumer, positive for the environment, and positive for the car producer, which can produce more of those cars. And I'm sorry to say, companies like GM or Ford, which mainly produce cars with huge CO2 emissions, they will shrink definitely. And it's a normal procedure. Better products will just gain market share. That's very simple. But also one should be supportive for the better products, because if you're staying with old products, it's not good for the world. Fourth point, I would give a recommendation for the people on the street, which is that they should be very conservative and stay with cash and government bonds, short-dated government bonds, and maybe later on buy a house, or already have a house. Pay the house with cash, or take a little more mortgage, maybe 50% of it. I think that's not so huge, but don't go to 100%. But then you need to work as well. You need to have a job, and you need to have income. So look that you will get a job, even if you have to change and accept a job from the government or in another area. Just work, because that's important for the economy. And the fifth point would be that we need more regulations from the government. I mentioned Basel II already, but also hedge funds need to be regulated more. They shouldn't be allowed to have leverage of 32 times, which is absolutely nonsense in casino. And when it goes bankrupt, so the bank maybe has to pay, or the taxpayer at the end, that's not correct. So we need very strict regulations there, and government should never ever be the last institution to save them. It's not good for the world. So it's not right that people who take incredibly high risk get bonuses, but they don't get punished when they make losses. So that's incorrect. So maybe they should pay amounts, those managers. Right, sixth point, I would mention that innovation is very important for an economy, and that's usually the engine for the economy. And when you go back, for instance, to 1830, I think it was, we had the locomotive, and for instance, around 1900, Edison invented the lamp, went to Paris, and British professors said actually that this electric light wouldn't have a future. So you know what happened afterwards. But anyway, I would strongly recommend also governments to support innovators, and I think that's very important to the world, that innovative products should be made if they help the community. And sometimes I know a lot of people, they made inventions but don't have the cash to do it, because otherwise they just get copied. They don't have the cash even to pay the patent. So there must be a solution for that. At the end, I would like to wish all the members of the WEF a very good meeting in Switzerland. Enjoy it as well, but please also discuss those things, and I would love that people who see that think about the things, or even that they should act, not only think. And wish you lots of luck, good health, and success, and lots of love and peace. That's very important. Without peace, this world is not a nice world, so I'm convinced with Obama this world will change as well, and good luck to you.